if I want to be part of a community, I'm going to be annoyed sometimes.
And then that can just totally ruin my day. Sometimes it can ruin me for weeks.
Welcome to a conversation between two friends.
This is Alice.
And I'm David.
And this is Truthfully Yours.
We are by no means experts or teachers, just speaking honestly within the bounds of friendship. If you found your way here, maybe there's something in that honesty meant for you too.
We invite you to lean in, and perhaps you'll recognize your own journey in ours.
In today's conversation, Alice and David explore why being part of a community is sometimes just plain annoying. They dive into the mental swamp, that heavy exhaustion that comes from absorbing everyone else's energy, and how it can ruin you for weeks while still being the very thing that fuels your creativity. This is Truthfully Yours. Now here's Alice and David.
Sometimes I find myself a little too deep in other people's shit, like other people's drama. And I'm not like a drama person. I don't do it. I'm tired of it. And I think it's kind of led me down a little bit more of a isolation path.
Isolation or detachment?
I think they mean the same thing, at least in this reference. I have detached myself, I have isolated myself,
Is the isolation to find yourself in a place of needing to just step back and have alone time to recharge?
You had said, I just want to be my own person. And so sometimes when I'm constantly trying to keep track of everyone else's drama, and I'm not supposed to like that person because they said that thing to this person, and oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I thought that person was cool when I met them that one time. You know what I've told myself? Annoyance is the price we pay for community.
Mm-hmm.
The truth, but you have to caveat it a little bit. I don't like the drama that goes on. It tires me out. It wears me out. My social battery drains faster. But at the same time, I have to keep in mind, if I want to be part of a community, I'm going to be annoyed sometimes. How do I then handle that? Do I act like a bitch to my friends when I'm annoyed? Do I act like a diva? Or do I just swallow it?
Yeah, I think the price of community is vulnerability, which also opens yourself to other people's emotions, good or bad.
Oh my God, tell me about this. Have you ever experienced another person being vulnerable and you're like, please stop?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it depends. I think for me, at least, it comes down to knowing what's going on with that person when they're sharing. There are people who I would put in the category as a pick-me person, where they want attention. So they bring the drama with them. They have to be the center of everything. And they just talk. And there's no real point to their conversation other than having the attention on them. And they're not looking for answers. They're not looking for support. It's just to bring attention to oneself. So there's that scenario. But then there are other scenarios where...
Attention whores.
Yes, for sure. But then there are other scenarios where there are people who in that moment really do need community and they do need to process something or get something off their chest. And in those cases, I want to believe I'm the type of person who can pick up on that and I will sit down and listen with them.
So the reason why you're being vulnerable matters. There's a line that one can be too vulnerable all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you being vulnerable in this moment because you want to feel some human connection? You want to feel seen?
Well, yes.
Or are you being vulnerable because, you want to be seen all the time though?
Right.
What is the difference then between appropriate vulnerability?
Well, I think that takes some self-awareness to understand. If you think of yourself having different tanks of needs that need to be met, right? I think you have to decide for yourself what level do you need to maintain within yourself of genuine connection with other people that you feel good. And then if it's overflowing because somebody's just talking too much, being a little bit too real, more than you can handle, then that's when you have to step away and just say, whoa, this is too much. And that's something that I feel like I'm really good at, because if you're empathetic, which I am and you are, there is a real danger of absorbing that person's energy. And then if you absorb their emotions, sometimes we take it on and it's almost as if we're going through that experience. And then that can just totally ruin my day. Sometimes it can ruin me for weeks. So now what I do is, whenever I'm aware of that, I have to switch from being empathetic to compassionate. But then I have to have some barrier between me and that person, a boundary, so that I can leave that conversation with a certain level of peace that I can still function throughout the rest of my day without it impacting the people I still need to take care of. If I've had a day like that, I'm pretty good about detaching, but I had a day recently where I just felt like just one situation after another with different people. It was just taking from me, and I could not separate myself because at that point, after the first couple people, I was so down that anything added on top of it, I was just not strong enough to overcome it. And then the next day was K-drama day, ice cream day, pizza day, burger day, all in one day. That's not good.
I think that's great.
No, it's not.
Well, like one day out of the week or out of the month or whatever, like.
But that one
not
day can
bad.
snowball into the next day.
I know.
Because you haven't recovered.
So it can't just be pizza, K-pop, K-dramas,
Yes.
pizza pops, and ice cream. It has to be that plus some processing or some journaling.
Some journaling. So yesterday.
Some meditation.
Yes. So yesterday was a huge self-reflection day for me because this is what I did. Recognizing this was all going on and I was not feeling it. I literally just kind of thinking about what I need to do. What do I need to do to get myself
Make a plan.
Make a plan. But
that's a big thing for me.
There are certain things I think we can do that oftentimes we don't want to do, even though we know it would be really good for us, like go exercise, right? Get outside. A little bit better is better than, being stagnant or going back even further. So I'm just trying to do whatever I can to put the brakes on it. So then I thought, I'm going to create a playlist of songs that when I listen to, no matter what, they always put me in a slightly better mood. And when I'm in a really good mood when I listen to these songs, they're my jam. Vibe now. So there's things that are going to make you feel better because they truly will, but there are things that we also take in that temporarily make us feel better, but really don't make us feel better because there is a consequence. Like I had so much bad food yesterday and the day before because I was feeling so icky because I tend to eat my feelings. And this morning when I got up, I thought, nope, I'm just doing green smoothies this morning. And I felt great. And I played really well today. So I'm really happy about that. And I moved really well. I did. So, I'm trying to put systems in place for myself because I think before, kudos to me. I'm going to pat myself on the back on this one because I think before I would have just stayed in this rut for a couple more days. And I felt like I snapped out of it quicker than I normally did. So I felt like that's progress. That's growth. Now I just have to remember this. So next time I can snap out of it a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Because I don't like being in like that mental swamp. That mental swamp opens doors to your mind going places it really shouldn't go. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't want to be thinking about these feelings that I'm having that are making me feel a certain way about people.
Like you hate the world.
Like I want to move to Thailand for forever. Like those kinds of feelings. I don't like those feelings, although I think it would be fun to live in Thailand for, a few months.
I think a swamp is one of the more fertile ecosystems for life that exist. So there's somewhere down in that mud is fuel for creativity. And
Yes. So this is what ended up happening. Yesterday, I started to work on editing one of our episodes. And because I was kind of in that swamp area, it just aligned really well with what I was working on. That as I was editing it, the story just took a different direction in a way that I think had I not been feeling the way I did, it wouldn't have happened like that. So I was thinking there is something that can come out of this that is very positive and good, and that is being more creative. When you can get yourself into a flow state, even when you feel like crap, that can oftentimes be the vehicle that sparks something else. So then I was very happy. I was so happy about it. And then I thought, okay, there are times we're going to go through dark days, gray days, shitty days. But if we can take those days and somehow transform it into a better day or a better situation or a better outcome for something you're working on, then I guess it is worth it. Then we can just say we just need to get through this moment because another day is coming where we know those feelings of exhilaration, of joy, of happiness.
But sometimes it takes us quieting ourselves, slowing ourselves down, and giving a moment to like quiet the thoughts and soften the edges and say, just sit with this.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, subscribe to Truthfully Yours wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes weekly on Thursdays. We'd love for you to share this with someone who might need to hear it. For more about the show and Alice and David, visit truthfullyyours.com.